This is meant to be a discursive meditation along the lines of a Dharma talk. Therefore, as Saint Benedict once said, incline the ear of the heart and listen with the inclined ear. On any Zen retreat worth its salt, the point at hand is to wake up to our true nature. To investigate as thoroughly and as earnestly as possible what we truly are. It's with this in our heart that we listen today. Last time we encountered young Joshu as he was posing a question to his older teacher Nansen. Joshu, like us, is earnest. Joshu, like us, is inquiring deeply into who or what he is. And like us, he is confused in the midst of things. So he asked Nansen one day, "What is Tao?" This should be understood as saying, what is all of reality? What is all of this? What is the true nature of reality? Nansen answered, perhaps pointing right at him, ordinary mind is Tao. You right here, the very one posing the question, is an instantiation of reality. You, he might have said, are what you seek. And he might have gone on to say, now stop seeking. Joshu asked, then should we direct ourselves toward it or not? Like us, Joshu is again confused. He doesn't yet see that he is precisely the reality underfoot. Nansen replied, if you try to direct yourself toward it, you go away from it. And the koan case goes on. We might understand this particular encounter in the following way. Joshu can't yet get around to seeing, to directly seeing that the Tao is not an it. It is not an object out there. It is not something he can grab a hold of or grasp onto, not something that he can will himself toward or to cognize with a finite mind. Nansen, therefore, shows him that if he tries to direct his attention, or really anything, toward it, he goes away from this, we might say. You are this right here now. Don't move an inch. At this point in the koan, Joshu is beginning to, I suspect, become amazingly confused, or perhaps turned about. It's as if he can't go this way or that way or some other way at all, and therefore he might just have said, as we might have said, I can't go anywhere. I have nowhere to go. Had he said that, Nansen no doubt would have replied, beautiful, now the practice begins. What now that you have nowhere you can go? So that is where we left off. In my view, a beautiful teisho by a Chan master named Gaofeng Yuanmiao, extends and intensifies the predicament that Joshu and you and I are all in. This is from Sean Whip, Breaking Through the Barrier. And the footnote, we discover that the teisho is from a man who was living from 1238 to 1295 AD. And that's sufficient for our purposes to contextualize it. Now, he's giving an aspiring talk to his monks. He begins, "This matter," which Zen would call the great matter of birth and death, demands that the practitioners have urgency. Only if you have urgency will the real doubt arise. In other words, only if you have real earnestness and a hunger, a yearning to know what is the true nature of reality, what is all of this anyway, will genuine wonderment be engendered. He goes on, struggle with it, doubting away without even the intention to doubt, day and night, sticking the head and tail together, your practice becomes constant and without a crack. Shake it, it does not move. Chase it, it does not go away. Bright and clear, you are always in it. That is the practice, the koan. This is when the practice is working. Be certain to work with the correct mindset and do not separate from it. Do it until you walk not knowing you are walking and sit not knowing you are sitting. Cold, heat, hunger, or thirst, you know nothing of that. When you get there, it is not far from home. Hitting it or poking it, it is but a matter of time. And here's the part I want to focus on. However, now that you have heard this about how to approach the koan, don't go and apply your energy single-mindedly to look for it. Don't sit around waiting for it to happen, nor should you just let it be or drop it. Just practice with commitment and strength and do not stop until full awakening. The helpful advice comes when he says, don't look for it and don't sit around waiting for it or something to happen, and don't drop it either. Don't go searching for it. Don't treat it as an object of the will or as an object of knowledge that is not here right now. It is not something to find. It is not something to gain. It is not more than or other than what is precisely right here. What is the Tao? Whatever it is, Nansen says, ordinary mind is Tao. The one posing the question is Tao, is the way. How can you even begin to look for over there what you are right here, what you couldn't be otherwise? So we need to call off all the chasing. Chasing must end. Yet, as our author says here, the tendency then would be to swing to the opposite side of the pendulum and then wait for something significant to happen. We will wait for some kind of cosmic event to befall us. That's not the way either, we read. We can't go waiting for something precisely because even Kensho, or a glimpse of our true nature, is not an event. and therefore it does not occur in time. Therefore, it is not something that can happen. As a consequence, we have no business waiting for it, as if it were some kind of discrete it that is going to occur and transform the life of the ego while maintaining the ego as itself. That's not the way either. So we can't go searching for it, no more chasing, and we can't go waiting for it as if this were some kind of divine miracle. So it seems as if our alternative, when we're put in that crucible, is to just let it go, just let it be, forget about it. Not so here. The Chan Master says, and you can't drop it either. In fact, he says, nor should you just let it be or drop it. You can't search for this, you can't wait for this, and you can't drop this. This is the essence of our situation, the very predicament we find ourselves in, if we're being honest with ourselves. All the exits have been sealed off. Every way we turn is not the right way. So the beautiful Chan reply is, now what? Now what? Now what when we have nowhere to go, nowhere else we can be, no how? What now? This finally is where the experience or the attitude of surrender makes intuitive sense. What must be realized is that we can't do anything in the final analysis. But what must be also realized is that we don't have to do anything at all. Therefore, surrender. Let it all go in one fell swoop. Drop not this or that, but everything. In one koan case, we read about someone who has climbed to the top of a 100-foot pole. And the question is going to be how one can step off the 100-foot pole. That is the very essence of the fundamental trust or surrender that is here being pointed to. There is no how about surrender. It's not how do we surrender when nothing else will do, when there is no place we can go, when there is nowhere to turn. That question does not arise in the actual experience of surrender. Surrender itself is the falling back, is the abidance, is the dropping everything in one fell swoop. In surrender, we fall into the ocean of water that has always already been here. The only question for us is, can we stop it all right this instant?